What's up, guys? I haven't done one of these video blogs in a very long time, but I kind of missed them and I'm excited to get kind of back on track with them, let alone having done an evidence vlog where I'm actually discussing some of the evidence that I've gotten at Stanley. A lot of this is actually because I haven't been recording for evidence a lot at Stanley. Obviously when we get these big groups going through and I don't have a lot of time for personal investigation myself, I don't really want to run audio because I can't really trust necessarily everything that we hear, etc., etc. I also don't have a lot of time to go over it. The summer's been crazy. Before that, the school year was crazy, so it's just kind of stacking up. So I kind of stopped recording for evidence in a lot of different ways. But we have been getting some really interesting results on the spirit box, for one thing, which I have started recording again. Kind of decided that if nothing happens while I'm recording it, I can just delete the file. I don't really necessarily have to listen to it. But if we do get something cool like we have been getting lately, I will have a copy of that I can share with you guys and I can listen to later. So we do have two clips for you guys today. One of them is a spirit box, one of them is actually an EVP. I was actually on a private investigation with just a couple of people, so I did decide to actually record audio a little bit during that time. And I did get one piece, and I'll start off with that one. This one's actually an EVP. We think it's Lucy, but we're not necessarily sure what she's saying. Kind of have some different angles on it. If you guys have any opinions, please let me know down in the comments. Shoot me a line, what you think she's saying. I can't quite make it out. Kind of murmured in a voice that sounds like Lucy. We've gotten it a couple times before. It's kind of what she sounds like. We kind of decided, which is interesting for one thing. Have consistent voices on EVPs. I think is very interesting. Doesn't necessarily point me as a non-scientific towards possibly the explanation for EVP, but I think that is interesting that however they come through on different devices has enough consistency to sound kind of the same each time, which is interesting. So this one comes over top. There are two guys and two girls. We're investigating the women's bathroom in the basement of the concert hall. One of the women is talking. Her name's Jennifer from Scarefest, actually, which I'll be attending in September. Shameless plugging there. You guys should totally come join me. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Anyways, back to the evidence. And the other one is Callie, and this voice that comes across is not either of them. They think that they hear Lucy on the spirit box, and so they're sort of addressing that, but there's this murmured voice that comes from somewhere else in the room that kind of goes over top with what she's talking about. And right after it, you hear Jennifer kind of says, like, Lucy, is that you? But I think she's actually referring to the voice in the spirit box, and that nobody heard this voice at the time. I think it's an EVP. So take a listen. I'll play it a couple times.
Where did the foul-smelling spirit come from? Hi. Lucy, is that you? Hi. Lucy?
I don't know what to think of it. It's definitely there. It's definitely neither of the two women in the room. So what are you guys' thoughts? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you think it's saying something? Is it a class, whatever the hell they've labeled for EVPs that you can't understand it but it's very clear? I don't know. Let me know. Now this other one is going to be from the spirit box itself. I was recording the spirit box session there in the bathroom. Got something cooler. In this case it's just the spirit box. We wound up talking to a spirit in 1302 actually. For about 12 minutes or so through a spirit box. One of the guests there actually did record the conversation. I didn't have my voice recorder with me in the room at the time. His name is Mark Bassford. He's here in Fort Collins. He's a really cool guy, so I'll plug him here since I'm stealing his audio and I'm sharing it with you guys. One Man Media is his handle on Twitter, so go check him out. Say some kind words. Let him know what you think about the audio too. But we were going over the spirit box in the room right now. We started to get a voice come through and it started answering a couple specific questions of Callie's, which she thought was really interesting. A couple minutes in, she kind of wondered, like, I think I know who it is. And I was having the exact same thought at the same time. I was wondering, is this actually Lord Dunraven that we're talking to through the spirit box? If you guys don't know who Lord Dunraven is, he was a landowner who owned most of Estes Park back in the early 1900s. He was the one who actually sold the land over to Mr. Stanley to create his hotel in 1911. So, kind of a sketchy spirit right now. We're not really sure necessarily what the deal is with him. Bit of a chauvinist. He kind of picks on the women around there a little bit inappropriately around room 401, different areas of the Stanley Hotel. However, we're kind of doubting that possibly recently. Some new information has come to light that might suggest that he's not actually quite as bad as some of the stories might make him out to be. So we're trying to research that a little bit and find out what's going on with that. But we do start getting him through the spirit box, and it's interesting. About half the responses when I go back and I listen to the audio, I can't really trust. It seems to be matrixing. The words we think it is aren't really the words that are coming out, as I think happens in a lot of spirit box sessions. However, in this session, the other half of the time, we were getting some very interesting responses. Now, they weren't loud and clear like a lot of the responses that really impressed me, get me. Like, it wasn't quite like that. But they were pretty clear as voices that were coming through, and they were accurate to the questions being asked, which was very interesting. And we start to develop enough of a pattern and consistency here that you can't help but wonder if it might actually be someone that we're talking to. So obviously I don't leave the stuff in that I don't think is interesting, because I don't think it's accurate at all. However, there's still a couple minutes worth of some interesting responses that we get here. I'm going to put them down with some titles and stuff like that. You guys let me know what you think. Do you think it's just random? Do you think that there might be something there? Do you think that some of the ones I post might not be right? You might have to listen to them a couple times. Let me know. What do you think of the spirit box at all? I've had a couple of these vlogs about it. There's one time I heard some crazy responses, and that's really what stirred me to start recording it again, because we heard an okay and a thank you louder and clearer than anything I've ever heard through the device before. So that was pretty crazy, but I didn't get to record it and share it with you guys. Unfortunately, I'm very, very sorry. Don't hate, don't hate, don't hate. But I do want to hear you guys' opinion on it, and I think some of it is kind of cool, albeit a little bit controversial.
So do you come here in the winter?
They come hunting. 800 shot. Oh my gosh. He's telling some fish stories now.
What year did you come hunting here?
1901. 1901. He's not even part of the hotel then.
Was before the hotel was built?
Oh my gosh, I just figured out who it might be.
You think so?
Do you own this property? Because if this was you, you would know the name of your hotel. It seems like you haven't told us the truth. You told us you shot over 800 deer. You gave me a fake name of a hotel. Do you not want to answer our questions?
In the lake bed?
In the lake?
Sit in the lake bed, I thought.
That's interesting. I'll tell you why later. Oh my gosh. I just heard his first name.
Did you really?
I just heard Wyndham.
So what do you think? Share your thoughts, your comments, discuss below in the comments section. If you like the video, rate it. And if you want some more of these and more evidence logs and more me babbling at the camera, go ahead and hit the subscribe button too. Be coming your way with a little bit more of this. I'm kind of on the downslope of my busy summer, so I'll have a little bit more time. I'm going to be doing some private investigations up here at the Stanley pretty quick, which I think will be really interesting, and I'll probably do some solo stuff after that. Maybe the ghosts will come out and try to bother me now that it's just me hanging out in the concert hall. So I'll let you guys know what I'm gathering up on evidence. Otherwise, you guys have a good rest of your summer, and don't melt in all this heat.